Okay, so as I've been documenting for the last 5 years, the same cycle, every single time it feels like it's been interrupted or like the proper authority has gotten involved to prevent it from continuing or repeating. It feels as if someone is incentivized with money, financial gain, or some other reason, some other, really motivating purpose to get people to engage again. And what I mean by that is, let's discuss it. I run fundraisers and I used Cash App. I've historically always used Cash App because Cash App allows people to donate without providing their personal information to the receiver. So the app still is going to have connections to who that person is and what way they sent money, but that information is not going to be shared with the receiver. So it just permits people to donate to someone who needs assistance without giving their actual, bank information, phone number, email, etc., and so forth. It allows for anonymous donating. So for some reason, and I could not tell you why, I'm a very consistent person. Incredibly consistent. When it comes to my branding, my hashtags, I do that on purpose with intention so that for investigators, for advocates, for anyone who is genuinely interested in knowing truth and finding ways to assist, in my opinion, if we have to be hiding the way that we help people, it's not really help. It's a hindrance. So in my opinion, even if doing something off-label is the best answer, we need to do it anyways, and we need to own it. And we need advocacy for why the decision was made, et cetera, and so forth. Now, when I'm receiving donations and fundraising on my own behalf and on behalf of my significant other or my children, I need to be able to receive the funding. The funding is always going directly into my bank account, okay? So there is nothing weird or crooked or undocumented or, there are no shortcuts being taken by utilizing this method of accepting donations. Now, on top of all of the services that I am being forced to do by extortion, that I'm participating in, i.e. task services and many other services, therapeutic services, lots of services that require some sort of assistance for logging and electronic purposes, homeless outreach, and all of these things that I have to participate in or have been participating in for the last 5 years with very little progress being made. I've solved these issues and I've solved them publicly, even on Facebook. I just wrote up an issue that I could resolve with relatively no money, with relatively no initial investment. I mean, how much does a Blink camera cost, right? And when we start advocating for these solutions, rather than continuing to pretend like they don't exist or like I've never presented them, that's when we get into the corruption and the intentional context scrambling and things of that nature that I've mentioned in the past. It's very simple to see what my goal is. My goal is the same, has never changed. It's to stabilize my life and the lives of my children, to be a parent to my children, to be there for my kids, to give them a stable business and something that they can thrive with later in life, to protect them, to love them, to cherish them, to be present with them, available to them, provide them with a safe living space that they don't have to feel, they don't deserve or they're unwelcomed in. And all of the things that I needed when I was growing up and that other children need, that is my job to do for my children. Okay, for my children, Viviana, Lewis, Alexis, and Weston. Now, when I host a fundraiser virtually and I receive 10, 20, disgusting notes in response to explaining what the money is for and requesting that people donate, that makes it very clear to me that the solutions that have already been enacted upon over the last 5 years, because the problem has been solved a number of times, why are those solutions not being permitted to stick? Why are those not long-term solutions? Why do we have to continue to just batter ourselves with the same drama? We know how to resolve it. We've done it before. We have effectively removed the ability to harass me through Cash App, through social media. Why is it that service, which should be automatically integrated into any software. It should be law in the United States of America that no app or software can be built without these protective measures, because I, as an adult, have been severely impacted in a very negative way by the hatred and the abuse and the harassment and the physical separations from my family and the lies and the slander and the libel. All of these things are punishable in law, in any, civilized world law. They're illegal. We're in a first world country. Slander, libel, stalking, and harassment are illegal. Not only are they illegal, they are grounds for civil lawsuit with a handsome payout. So what is going on when 5 years of solving the same problems is not resulting in any pay, is not resulting in any sort of stability, is not resulting in any of my goals being met? What is going on? And who is going to be responsible for calling these things out? Because it's exhausting. 5 years, I should only have to call this shit out one time. One time I should be able to look to my team and say, technology team, hacking team, FBI team, or whatever you want to call them. By FBI, I'm including a federal team. So a team of people who are widening the scope of their investigations, which would be a step above detectives for Chicago. I'm asking people who are responsible for following these sorts of cases and coming up with their solutions to man up and identify yourselves. Where are you? If you cannot provide your identity, at the very least, resolve these issues. I'm sick and tired of wasting my time banging my head against the same wall here. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. What worked the last set of these issues? Why are we continuing to go through these issues over and over and over again when all of our time should and could be spent doing something far more impactful, far more meaningful? I'm not interested in sitting around here complaining about all of this stuff. I'm interested in resolving these issues. That's it. This is exhausting. It's exhausting for everyone. How do you think my children feel hearing their mother say the same thing over and over again? It's exhausting. So when we're talking about these applications being built, there need to be some sort of regulation federally that says if you're going to launch an app in the country, the United States of America, it must meet these bottom line safety needs, period. We don't need to continue to fund a court, civil court, for slander and libel, at least not for electronic means, if we can get in front of it. If someone is slandering and libeling someone's business in old school methods, then that's a different, set of circumstances. But we have the technology to prevent this. We have the technology to build in any API, Facebook, Instagram, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. In the notes section, our AI chatbots are being used regularly. Tesla is driving their own vehicles. Pizza Domino's is cooking pizza with a robot and delivering it to customer with a robot. But we, as app developers and software developers, cannot find a way to work it into the API where AI can essentially and effectively sense motivation, sense malice, and eliminate it. Yes, we can. And I'll tell you why we can. If you go over to any one of these blog sites, they have moderators who are preventing people from writing positive things about me. If you go on there and write Heather should kill herself, it posts with no problem. But if you go on there and write Heather is a good mother, she's never had a drug problem, all of this has already been proven in court, she's intelligent, effective, and well loved and liked in society, and you try to click post, it says this comment cannot be posted. Where is the regulation, United States of America? I am Heather Gillespie. I am letting you know that I have stood in front of a judge and continue to do so, proving the significance of this and all of these issues have had on me, on my children, on my newborn baby. Never has it ever interferes with my capacity to parent my children. I can parent my children just fine. Better than ever. When is the technology going to have my back on that? And I know that we've got these developments already. I know that they exist. I have witnessed them in action firsthand being used in reverse on blog websites where I am being slandered on a regular basis. My human rights, my civil rights are being violated on a regular basis. Where are you at, FBI? Where you at, area detectives? Where you at, software developers? I am Heather Gillespie. I have been telling the same tired, stale story, not because I want to, not because it's fun for me, not because I profit from it. The opposite. I am suffering from oppressive circumstances where I am not being permitted to earn my own income because of this slander. I am not being permitted to live in a safe environment because of this slander. This is unlawful. This is inhumane. This is unconstitutional, and I'm tired of talking about it. Please keep this on the record. August 6th, 11 a.m., Heather Gillespie, one Heather, GEEHLG, forever _ VLAW, V Law, which is an acronym for Viviana Lewis, Alexis Weston, GoPro Solo, Heather GoPro Solo, all my tags, all my handles, all my hashtags. You can Google all of that I've been speaking about very openly for the last 5 to 10 years.